Hi everybody, Glenn here. I often use my guillotine tool, and it works really well because you can substitute out different dies for the work, the project that you're working on. But I was thinking if someone doesn't have a guillotine tool, then and they want a fuller top and bottom, oftentimes I would see in the past maybe someone would make a simple spring fuller. Just basically make a U and then, have it made out of suitable stock where, it's raised up on one side a little bit, and then you insert your stock and then you can hammer on the top and that would spring up and down. And so I thought maybe that would be a good project for today to show some people, though I myself don't need it because I have my guillotine tool, which, like I said, suits my purpose very well. But, so anyway, I, have this stock sitting around. I just have this piece of 3/4 inch that what I'll do is I'll use this, I've marked it where I want to drill or punch. Probably I'll punch the holes, and that'll insert into the hardy hole like such. And then this piece, I was hoping if I had to see if I had a piece of high carbon steel, and I think that would be perfect for a spring. But this is, I've got it marked. It says SKD 11, but this is actually it's D2. So I'm not sure how suitable this will be for a spring, but I'll give it a go and we'll see. And so basically I'm going to punch holes in here suitable for this diameter, and then bend this into a U shape, and then insert that into the holes, and then maybe make it come down a little bit here, give it an offset, and then one end goes up while one end is flat. So it'll sit in here like this. One end rests on the anvil face, and then the other end will be kind of up like that. So, and then, the theory is that you put your stock in between and you hit here, and that kind of springs up and down on it. Hopefully it doesn't break on it. But, yeah, we'll see. I'll just, it's just an idea I have in my head, and, I've seen similar types of tools, like I mentioned, very basic spring fullers that are handheld, and I thought this would be better because you could free up one hand. And then, just quickly, you can see, right here, basically that's my drawing. This drawing here obviously is being, just a side view and of what I would like to make. So, yeah, let's, I'll get going and see how it comes out. This is one of my punch style tongs for round. In case if you didn't want to have a punch permanently handled, then like this is 3/4 round, it would work well with the punches that I make. So then obviously it's a lot easier maybe to dress these when they need redressing, but I prefer to have them permanently handled. But this is also another option, and you can switch out quickly from round punch, square punch, whatever you like. So sometimes this kind of a tong, it's good for like just maybe picking up and placing in just oddball size pieces, something like this, just to place it in the forge. I didn't follow my own advice on my punches just now, trying to do a little bit too much too quickly and overheated this business end, so it just mushroomed just a little bit. So I just touched it with my angle grinder with a flat disc. You know, normally I'll just go a little bit and then give it a quick 1 or 2 seconds cool in water. This is actually I think this is D2. It's either D2 or H13. You don't want to quench this steel when it's too hot. But if there's no color on the business end, you can give it a quick cool, quick cooling. But I just left it in those holes, trying to do 2 holes at one time is probably just trying to do a little too much. So, when it comes to punching, cutting, and stuff like that, you have to sometimes be a little bit patient. So, yeah. Continue on. Hey, where am I? Center, so won't be a big deal. Okay, so it's pretty much through. I'll knock them out. So I'll give it a quick cooling and knock them down. One more time. Okay. One little slow. Flip it. One's gone. And doesn't want to come. It's a little ragged right there. I get it. There it is. Got a little bit off center on that there, but yeah, so basically, I'll have to, it's pretty good size, I'll just have to open it up, drift it a little bit more from this back end to get these to fit in. So, turn it over and get it done. About just a touch more. There we go. Okay, good. So that'll easily pass through. I actually said, well, they're not so aligned and it shouldn't matter, but it actually will matter. You can see on this end, you can see how I've got this one off to this side a little bit too much. But once it's inserted, then I can square everything up again. But yeah, it will matter because they're supposed to be one on top of the other. But a little bit off is not going to be the end of the world. So yeah, all right, on to the next step. I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to grab this piece with 2 tongs on each side and bend it around this just as a mandrel, and that should give me just about exactly the curve that I want to fit in there. I was thinking maybe just go over the edge here and just hammer that round, but I think this would be a little bit more accurate. But the problem is that this D2 steel, I can't, each end's going to be hot. Normally, if it was long enough, I'd use 2 gloved hands and bend it, but it's going to be too hot, and I probably shouldn't quench each end because it makes this kind of steel very brittle if you go from high temperature like that. So it's kind of tricky. You have to understand the material you're using. So, and at the end of the day, this D2 might not even be suitable for this project, but anyway, we shall see. I'll just hammer this now back down into shape. You can feel when you're working on a piece of steel, something like this, it's definitely, it's much harder than just mild steel. Also, this leg is a little bit longer, and that's for a reason, is because I have to bend it. This will be the top, and it has to come in a little bit, so I'll lose a little bit material. It won't be exactly lined up that way. So, yeah, next step. So at this point, you can see this still fits in pretty good. Where it upset on the ends, raised it a little bit, so I'll probably squish all this back together so it sits exactly on that bottom, on the bottom piece that comes out this way. So, but yeah, looking okay. Also, I'm kind of thinking that it's better to have these holes oversized, so this way, when you put this piece in, it just goes in a lot more smooth, a lot more smoothly. So, yeah. Anyway, next step. Up just a little bit more. Okay. Just about right. Okay, that'll work. Okay. This is where if I had a good vise that I could, place this over, over the jaws and then beat on, that would be great. But this vise is not that type of vise, just not good the way it's set up. So maybe I'll use this swage block and then maybe like such, bolts that, but it's still not enough. I get it over that hardy hole, well, it's not enough for both legs though. But yeah, I'll just start it like that. See what happens. And maybe get this ready, the vise, just in case. Okay. Just about there. Way. See? Alright, back in the fire. So that's just an example of, think before you remember I wanted the top leg to be a little bit longer. So that's a very good example of, think while your piece is in the fire. Since you have very limited time once a piece comes out. So, okay, I'll just give that a couple more seconds and then get it. Should be good. Works perfectly. It fits perfectly. Except, like I said, you can't, it went in perfect. So, there, I don't know if you can see, but there you go. I just put it over my vise. I'll give it a couple more taps. While I'm waiting for this piece to heat up, I want to make sure to give a big shout out to Duncan Cochran and Matthew West. Thank you very much for the generous donations. Very, very much appreciated. Thanks, fellas. Didn't quite go according to plan yet, so, yeah. Get it all squared up. Yeah, I wanted to, because I can't cool this end, so I'll just continue to work that down. I probably, if I had something to, a top tool to hold that end,
At this point, it probably would have been better just to put it in the hardy hole and then use a top tool, like a handled fuller, or like you'll see a piece of round stock to just bend that top leg down.
Yeah, that'll work. I'm actually swinging left-handed here, but I'm actually left-handed. But I swing a hammer right-handed for some reason and some other tasks. So, yeah, I think once I get that in the hardy hole, I'll be able to flatten all of that out then. Okay. Bird is really going wild right now. In there. Something is caught in your hardy hole that you're working on like this. You just tap it on the sides a few times, and it'll come loose. There we go. I gotta tell you something. This is not a pretty tool, but I can see it looks like as long as this has enough spring action, it should work. And I've got a good idea to, when I just grabbed that small round piece, to push that in, that's a perfect idea, I think, on this end here. So what I'll do is I'm going to get a larger round and smooth that out where I beat it up in here, trying to hammer it when I had it hanging over the edges here. So, yeah, we'll get that done, and this is pretty much it. And I'm going to, with this D2 steel, I'm just going to let it cool. I don't think I'm going to quench it or anything, and just see how it works. And then I plan to use this for about this size stock, or at least just to see how it works. So it could be, you put it maybe ½ inch or maybe, maybe 3/4 even on this end. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, that's much better. There we go. Okay, so here it is, all cooled off, and it fits well into the hardy hole. In fact, it's actually, I wouldn't say loose, but it actually, tilts a little back. But that should be okay. I'm going to give it a go right now and see how it works. I'm very skeptical about this D2. I'm afraid that it might crack more than act like a spring. In fact, I might even recommend you try medium carbon steel first, see how that works. Or something a little higher than medium maybe. But yeah, maybe this will work fine. Let's see. Give it a try right this second. Also, the idea is you got that in there, and it's definitely bouncing back, I'll tell you that. Oh yeah, it worked really well. Yeah, that definitely did the job. I don't know if you can see, it folded it on both sides, and pretty well too. And it's kind of hot, so it's hard to see, but I'll let that cool a sec, and then you'll see. The only thing I don't like about this sort of spring fuller is that one piece is coming at an angle. Technically it should straighten itself out, right? But once it's coming down, but it's still hanging up at an angle. But yeah, it looks good. It looks great actually. Springing right back too. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see now. See how it easily fullered both sides of that. But you know what? So does my guillotine tool. So, yeah, but anyhow, let's try another piece here. I've got another smaller piece of steel, flat piece, and see how that works. So if you were trying to make a, tang, well, this is not really that high up. It's into their own. See how it was able to work itself up? See? Yeah, working real well, actually. Excellent. I don't know, this is pretty good, actually. Gotta say. That's pretty good. Just even that out a little bit. So you see that piece then, the flat piece. That could be drawn out as a tang then if you wanted to. So, yeah, I definitely say it works. There's no question about it. Like I said, just about, hot. That's a good lesson to be learned right there. So, yeah, it definitely works. Don't grab things when they're hot. And, yeah, hopefully you can make one of these if you don't have a proper tool to fuller top and bottom. Definitely will say it works. You probably have better ideas how to go about this, but I think this is good, for someone who just wants to do, traditional blacksmithing. There's nothing else involved except, hot punching, bending, and then getting this into shape. It's just that you might have some other ways to go about that a little bit better. I don't know, but yeah, definitely pleased with how this works in these first two tries. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Talk to you guys next time.
I know my simple project videos can get pretty long, but I like to show the whole process. Please subscribe.